because you see you come one omu yeska the first somebody is up to die
yeah
watch them more dance and the way the investigation ya mon kopɛ na omo nanfofo na omo di agro ma potemo omo bɛka ni nyina ya den actually it's answer dan the offense ana e mesi na ye dan no
na ye dan no
tuition na e wae omo so bi akra wantu omo kai omo no asa information no ono abayo bi atwempra wantu chi ni egade a obi isa information ade ama entinya ade a o se eye na ye fiwa ye mra isiji hu die tia do big ne afenyo mo nam horo fofa into uremu because a hakra in ye hu 2.2 billion national service eswa senjia 2.2 billion say 2.2 billion the call ya now call electricity company of Ghana send the beko PDS send the beko one entia no beka ho a na che say ye koye na masanso aka ban say attorney general besra pa massa OSP na da besra wono de makase mo mo kwa say mo entertain no wono no woni ku wo o say mo pabro in fact o cross investigation no aka say was investigation because o ye o mo mine entities but NAPCO
Operation Recover All Loot. According to Dominic Akrutingi Ayini, Papa Nsaya doctor, Edeka Hon, Wabon doctorate, lawyer no, or Attorney General, SIA Minister of Justice, let's say no crano, one can cry and Hobeshino. Papa in Nebia fire, heat, and Jatun Jumbe, that's a Shane Jago, Casadia, heat what hey. When him say enedwe ana the National Buffer Stock CEO Chief Executive Officer Alhaji Abdul Wahab Hanan ogwago jina court na wago yin nsama no awuraja gobo asam no beyedwe asam sebe asam besi asam ye gase na ne kwakwa na say papa no properties ni de chama ye na ya bi
3-story building that is Chicken Republic, the Chicken Republic building in Tamale, suited at Estate Junction, Tamale. 5-bedroom mansion at Canville, Dorado Street, Tamale.
Whole land properties, hotels, a whole 5-star bedroom house. Just a nema a trot to aswa. Papa Efuna Abdul Wahab na Anan. Onungwa ne sankano tell among for a hurry up among for a sharp among for a fast and connection but Attorney General said you go answer questions now I know and send me about my man on the back Attorney General said wouldn't say Papa your friend Alhaji Abdul Wahab Anan my wife just said Gucci ni Louis Vuitton home bags right yankopo bags are cost in dollars sika jete laja kudi CDC naira aha na sika ebon omote maame no chese ne bags nkwa o handbag dollars nso enenam around be say $300 to around $139,000. I mean, say, hey, now bag about $139,000. At the bag, no, who are at the book of Viana?
As a Ghana for me, I was here the last 8 years. In fact, we are credit so much. The real fast say, go this kind of so much just here. Ana yedi aban ba bisio ada ban no so e ba aban mu because no no so nimsi ye wia no de ye campaign
yeah
ada de shey nyina e bo se me ba me nim se ye wia mu me kwa akogigi sika no ni ana se japade bi obodi sika no koye no amoma no e tie ana Ghana for no hwe ho eto aba ma wo tie boom omo ba ye no mo de ose omo status person mo de oyo ana Attorney General obrifie o start here no obrifie na kuro no ma ye de boss sem na work na ni musem
akase breaking news o si so ana ye hu se
ya se boss pa da meja wo se mu ke na ma because ya wa so mo wi aye
yeah
omo ye do omo share politics asia na de omo de be ta kra onyi no ene wakoto dan airport enye dan na wato na ye obi ya ana bibisa o ene wabo ho mode ayi wadwuma no wato me ba be mo me busa kra o kra na me so me atuma na mo yi ba wonu mo de ye ni omo ketua ye ni so omo ni business o ba bia by that to say mo omo position da no ano mo start so mo to Japan na say sika eye me no mie no to aye tua and what the music has been thrown you and the attorney general shas yes and no mo fetching na mo no mo acquaintance mind you politics in the aye no kruma and say ye wo ya so courtism ye wan be before what the same squad wo NDC me to mo bomb to mo boa no be chef front line to no asem ba wonka chankofo na nke ya ma attorney general jai press conference ya uja no mo start ekoye demonstration e wo street say ye tata o mo ni nyoma na because ata na wa mbodi o mo ze bi ankoso ada wa ba bi we ya dey atu anan o ba MPP politics na melitia pa oni kapre
ba fast talk
oni kapre na wa hwenya myenim aduane a o se ye de koma nyanka mebunu bi onu mu a oko secondary school na ofokro dumi nyahwe moma no that time no enye enkwara de nko obi akobọ besia supply aduane ama ba fast talk yentua ne kan isu basic enkrata ne bebre bedi no okwa no aka chi osisi o se na mo o divert fa wona oyere na phenomenon bi e ba o mo side ne de sa ban atwemu okunu wi ano no le yere ka ho
collabo
just alongside we from alongside China are you ready this is a remix from Hana alongside Pfizer yeah the friend is there no that's a very fine dia was
Pfizer
maybe a company
okay Adu Boahen all corner
na ne yere su di akire
yeah no why husband and wife
so that is the strategy they adopted though
nti attorney general ababe chichi na dia de we mu ne se watunya pinpoint ejapade a police kanato attorney general me sa ka chiro bio obi biara o tu fu se mema me press conference on bo yi esa say the moment I the assembly court no attorney general be file charges for court a public document I say why press conference that's what they don't know I can go to the court and they'll give me a copy of it but Ghana for do say the be who say and I say better say the same way
court
and no war ya war broadcast say do problem and I say war cause I want to legal system
yeah
abetiri my day actually yina sana Hana so lawyer so court obeka say menya sa and so the press conference o dey o ye nto so pa omo medi microphone no mo meka nche say enye sa na tie ye bedu court ni yina da ho obi an gongodi ayi na enye sa na kira no wabet kira ye kwa ya fast court $1.6 million home chain dino say buffer stock o start here now salary 14,000 Ghana cedi odi be wie 28,000 odi yam fa say was started with 28,000 we ye bia we tiefo money mu aye mathematics kakra
what are 30 krama
what yam man fa na I bank yam fa 30,000 30,000 no times if I say 12 you say 360,000 yam fa
times 12
times 12
yeah 3.6 million
yam fa so odi abemu 8 years and 2.8 million Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
2.8 million. Then they go do $1.6 million.
And then back.
I take one. Maybe it is there. Yeah, they give you the dose. Oh, yeah. Now, mono movies are going to answer. And that back, I tell him, see, what kept you when Libya to say, when you come to the crowd, and to me to home jail. Now, what about 600,000 a year or ton Bokanto me say and also Okunya says Kanoi. What about Tamale sa hotel ya 70 year ton $250,000 and Usko. What about the Jolian or ton 4.1 million Ghana cedis scan wahi? What about Asasi or ton 307,000 scan wahi? So you see, say ya kasa say that's a now we better also a lawyer now semantics a lawyer for a structure teaching we don't know more na mo bo abakro no koso na chese clearly what BTA inside that trade trading on ne northern regional manager obukabom akwari here eche no ka no kre so ti wa anye onye adwuma kro raise voice kwade ya transfer
ya transfer scammer no
na wo young man ye chi aye yaga but now pussy ga on MP na ko dia ko parliament je o be brasa
na be brasa
sana scholarship secretariat
ade akwa she ho
omu wi aye short sheni o man onye ye wa kwa tena parliament and wo sa shemra ma me no wi no are you not concerned the scholarship secretariat and raso me say attorney general so wo ye ho adwuma na de o kan ye me ni je ho ye lottery so lo sa lottery so ne de
enele ho no
and de bugamu eno no ye mugamu a o say attorney general to bo as because you could information na ba fast shop crab budget say and the APF free na lottery
na enele
na no kwa according to MPP Dr. Paragraph Boache Dankwa we de na do offer ase prekope or say I'm reminded that the good Bible says a good name is better than riches. Or say akromfo na omu wi aye when abra na MPP e wo power no nyankopon ni nokra ni ni wallahi talai John Dramani Mama only san akromfo no unu omu ni enye omu 14 before before ni mo we akromfo bi omu okro no and na dankwa akufado ni wo fa bia say asese no owie sika no Ghana buying any chama Wontumi lawyer appear kubi ese chama Wontumi play for bagay no or asemka ewo home na obeje ni say lawyer attachia lawyer edema national signal break the director general Adu Boahen over 49 million Ghana cedis papa no yes sika no on femra because we di say sika dey according in say na we dey say the lawyers once again MPP for the workout or my workout o ma work out say and never be because o mo ntia say it for that reason and ya dey a mo tra course dan wo say na ade possible etimi sisa Ken Ofori-Atta office of the special prosecutor and two others. According to the office of special prosecutor, Ken Ofori-Atta lawyer I didn't know the human rights division of the high court. Na case na mgo tie two motions. Ken Ofori-Atta and someone okati office of prosecutor say Wontumi frame me fugitive. Wontumi frame me wanted. Sadi mo papa mo yimfiro. Eti sansom no ama Ken Ofori-Atta any attorney office of the special prosecutor akopie mo court na akoye pinso akoye pinka asem na aba no asansebe okelewa ofelewa obelewa insem no aye insempolo bebelebe onye home ground tiase but Ghana abekoso operation recover all loot must work to its fullmost capacity. Eti baby azuri dia Ghana be ye wo vim me wo vim oni mi say Alhaji Abdul Wahab Hanan property dudu oni no ina yuoko for say yaje yensa som yensa aka you go answer questions and you go regret enti answer no enwa de enwa feeling ka say dey he do ate why naked truth our old Boga trends edino eba ko pe Maxi Billian our favorite channel so what I say Oldboga trends fa o comment into comment section and say oh yeah subscribe like it na share mo nua eso enye bi hwe ba bia duri no e be wuram mami we na be pie according to attorney general say properties aye baku 13 years properties ya the attorney general and the minister of justice Akrutingi Dominic Akrutingi Ayini papa no already deputy justice Simsa say enough is enough properties ya papa ya frano Abdul Alhaji Wahab Hanam onungwa ninsaka after so obey the National Buffer Stock Chief Executive Officer. Chese be Ghana ye nnuane so ennuane e dey ma school nkola akwane ba ya ordinance left right center odi abom nyafu wadi na wadi aseno wadi ama bibia ye basa na nya no nko ha Alhaji Abdul Wahab Hanan ni 17-bedroom boutique hotel ewo Gumani Tamale and also papa no Yoko for Edo Omunsan Akanti 0.27 acre plot of land our estate junction Tamale Omate 2 properties in Tamale a 5-bedroom house our Kanvili and a chicken inn building both belonging to the former Chief Executive Officer of the state-owned Buffer Stock Company, Abdul Wahab Hanan. You know, for say ni na no maji omusaka ni na under their investigation. Enti until say papa no ever prove further and better particulars. Oye den okosoro ene beti ni be ene e friends be pekura na ene sanka enya de onya nenne anase ochina. And just Ghana de yaje ai charges are odiabo papa ye friend no Abdul Wahab Hanan the former Buffer Stock Company Limited Chief Executive Officer because papa sika de we bio the number of companies are on one personal companies on one companies and another in charge in terms of sika in terms of friend say transfers bibia on one money laundering transfers by former Chief Executive Officer National Food and Buffer Stock Company Sautina Enterprise to Hanan Abdul Wahab that is on one di Neredi Sautina Enterprise to Hanan Abdul Wahab 16,179,137.27 Ghana cedis. Sika eno ye transfer Sautina Enterprise to Agani Enterprise 23,913,000 Ghana cedis 964.90. Sautina Enterprise to Fahausa Ventures 500,000 Ghana cedis. Sautina Enterprise to Chain Homes Ghana Limited 550,000 Ghana cedis. And in total I have 40,493,102.15 Ghana cedis. Sika according to Yoko any attorney general after papa your friend Abdul Wahab Hanan on any yere ensem say alright in sembebo alright in sembaba Beatrice Adu say what is Abdul Wahab Hanan the wife luxury bags ana mama ni use no ebi Louis Vuitton ebi Gucci Armani kese.
But I was telling you that the AG also did mention that the wife, who apparently had about 14,000 cedis as her salary, with her husband 28,000 cedis monthly salary. The wife also had some 61 luxury bags, and I want to give you an idea really how much a luxury bag generally costs. It ranges from $300 US to some $139,000 US. Luxury bags, and it depends on the brand. So I'll just mention a few brands to you based on. So that's 300 to 139,000 US dollars.
Going for 250,000.
So there is a Tory Romy sweat bucket a bag, approximately $395. Marc Jacobs, $450. Louis Vuitton, that's about $3,100. Gucci, that's $3,300. There's also Birkin, which cost about, and that is even at auction, it cost about $137,500. So that's just an idea, averagely, how much it costs.
According to Redalin, Imoru Ayana, a public interest advocate, or say I would have clapped for former National Food and Buffer Stock Company's Chief Executive Officer, Hanan Abdul Wahab, and his wife, if they have put up a factory in Pusiga.
Beatrice, I was shocked to the core when I saw the list. We have lived in this country, we have seen corruption, at least I have seen a level of it during the AFRC time when Rawlings came out and was mentioning the ills of people. And last night, I just told myself I wish Jerry Rawlings had waited for that revolution. It should have been now. Because we have seen a level of corruption, wickedness, immorality than any other government that we have had since independence. The allegations, I know my fellow Accra will come very soon and say there are allegations. Yes, there are allegations, but there's no smoke without fire. And since this has gone through a process and the AG is telling us that this is what I have seen, we are bound to talk about it and state it as it is. As allegations, you are innocent until proven guilty. That's the law. So I am asking, what kind of a person would within, let's not say 8 years, within 6, 7 years, amass such wealth? Is it that the rest of us are not working? We don't work, so we can't acquire this kinds of wealth. You see, it just tells you the level of corruption within the society. And you ask again, why? It is because people are beginning to buy class. You understand? People in this country are beginning to buy class. That is what is worrying us. So everybody wants to live a certain lifestyle. What have you got to do with 61 designer bags? Where are you going with it? What do you understand by designer bag? You understand what I'm saying? If not for the fact that you've got cheap money, would you ever have taken that kind of money if you were working, if your husband was working and earning 28,000? Would you ever have taken that money to buy a designer bag? And for my brother to go and buy watches, it's an insult to the people of Pusiga. Why didn't you go and put up a factory there? He had money. If you went there to stand as a member of parliament and you were taking people to Hajj, you were building things, you were giving motorbikes for free, you were spending for free. People were telling me. But nobody could ask you where you are getting your money from. At the end of it, now we are being told that you are being charged for these things. Why didn't you go? If you had gone and built some factory, some school, some hospital, anything in Pusiga or any part of the northern region, apart from that hotel, which is a different issue altogether in Tamale. But I'm talking about the people you wanted to represent. When you went there and you had all these sums of money, you had stolen all this allegedly, why didn't you go and put up a factory? I would have clapped for him. At least the people of Pusiga would have had jobs to do. But you cannot ask me to sit here and not say anything about it because he's a brother. No. Being a brother doesn't change things. Even Bill Gates doesn't wear gold watches. If you've watched, he uses cheap phones. So what is it? What is it that makes people to just want to amass wealth, everybody wants to live at cantonments? Now you go and buy a house at chain homes where a president lives. Since when did you get that kind of money? When did you come to Accra? For you to be able to go and get a house at not any other place, but chain homes, What work have you done? Does you know how many people have been struggling? They get up in the morning from 4:30, they don't do anything, and they work so hard to get something for their families and can't even afford a decent accommodation.
But people would, you were giving an example of, for instance, using the money for developmental projects in
Yes.
Kusiga.
I'm saying if you had.
People would say that it's still wrong to steal money to use it for a purpose that's not designed for
but
it.
at least there would have been a bit of sympathy. Because the people would have thought, he stole the money, but he used it to make this and look for jobs for people and stuff. People would have looked at it differently. But to the extent that you stole the money and bought watches and bags, you understand, and cars, and then you go and build a hotel in Tamale, you go and build, you acquire almost all your properties in Accra, in nice places. And I don't understand why it is always government exposed, government people who get state lands. I get so pissed.
Today is the day our Attorney General Dominic Akrutingi-Ayini ese ene Papa Yeveno Adu Boahen Anan of a case etiano our Accra High Court. Say Papa no on the 24th of October 2025 obe answer questions about crimes, fraud, stealing, causing financial loss to the state, and a whole lot of others. I say, and then we're ready. Say, Sansamno, Abecoso. Now, when Dr. Patrick Boache, Dankwa, we MPP Nimapa. Now, Dankwa Gofado, the offer say, or say, I'm reminded that the good Bible says a good name is better than riches.
In some of the statements that came from the Attorney General, he stated and alleged that at a time, Republic Bank was having more money from the former CEO of Buffer Stock. It meant that his deposits were more. And he's not a businessman. He is not trading in anything, unless, of course, maybe he was doing some private business that we are not aware of it. But it bewills on us as public servants, as people that serve in the interest of the public, to remain accountable. And I'm always reminded of the fact that the good Bible says that a good name is really better than riches. And these are very troubling times. And so, as a people, we need to build that culture.
But for what these kind of cases, even though at the moment nobody has been proven guilty, even in the minds of the public, because also part of it is public perception about your party when you were in government, to see all of these things come up. And some of the monies that's been mentioned, the Attorney General says now the NSA scandal is the tune of 2.2 billion, 50 million here. I mean, all these cases coming up from the time that your party was in government. Do you appreciate the public, how much of the impact it's having on your party in your quest to return to government?
I'll tell you something, these are, I would say that these are very isolated cases. I mean, the individuals must hold themselves accountable. It's
you think it doesn't stick on MPP in any way?
No, right now, and I'll be truthful and I'll be frank. I mean, it's really very difficult. You remember that our government went into IMF. What did we go to IMF for? We needed money. How much money did we need? 3 billion, right? US dollars. I mean, if you look at these figures that are coming out, it meant that some people didn't do our government well.
Or say MPP for Libya, no more MPP, almost every amamuno. And Ganga Papa Yeveno Adu Boahen Anan on any some others. They say get to worry. Or say ACB MP ne Hunkwanaba. Or say MPP administration echo IMF. IMF for now MPP administration going on. Now for one reason. I'm say what reason? I say must be the only reason I'm say oh they be. Ebi na mini do be ka say they be unim. Reason is simple and tietia. The reason why you call IMF ni na say hey you call me intimi manage. And you get to me economy intimi manage afi ya be manage mana efe. Bibi e koso kama. Amanfo abokro no boy no. IMF aye call no because of womuntia. But if we only went to IMF for $3 billion US. Meanwhile, there are people in the NPP are almost spending more than 5 billion, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million US dollars. I was identify why. Question is why. Identify no so in survivor. Or say Mrena so we have to end that nonsense now. Chama Wontumi lawyer and the appear could be. Now we are this is Chama Wontumi plead for bargain. Near bone di or say the client the friend Chama Wontumi dey plead for bargain yon Kobi. Cases now so far from Yoko CID, Ghana police, and will be anywhere. The client the friend Chama Wontumi. I can't tell say onion to me say or not Chama Wontumi no differ.
Hey, now Wontumi so dear. Onya public official enti ye ba se na ye di ora hon komo a ye de bo Wontumi di hum na me se a minti asem we di a kire ye te ya ye se Wontumi aba for plea bargaining and attorney general say onye enti no Wontumi per plea bargaining dia on famra court den mu wadaroma eye Wontumi case ni mu ne ye wo he ena na wo kopen plea bargaining ni
emi no me da se de tika mi che o tie fo ni na the woman say and the Caribbean say in any of the cases that the Wontumi involved, no, I could say a compare plea bargaining and then create a year BBS. Now, no, court case no hold. Court nice as only game I say. On for in Qatar, and this seminar, vigilance with their prosecution. And you know, the actual sort of beba. Ama esi naso na yakwesha try na se na unim se try no omo fale omo discovery no me lawyer for the accused person no me start cross examination into say all omo witnesses no go through cross examination na omo wie no consume case ya afi answer na say Omutimi establish BBS year no na say otherwise. So Omutimi establish BBS year no say be file submission of no case na the move na say court no near ya say case na wi. Otherwise because BB o say year no near year no. Na baby away there omumfa discovery no clear my empo yakọ case management conference. Na case management conference sometimes they do hold more which me aka say dia based on the evidence crowd ni ade no person be plea bargaining na yen do bia omumfa discovery no kwe mai o so say obi abase be plea bargaining yen kwe remom no the me can say attorney general no o say minister for justice in that mandate as minister for justice e kwa wo say we say atentini e be yima enti no so gina court na so bi wo na o evidence bi kura so the boa prosecution na emination say so the ba enti bia based on that strength no ni mandate no and na person onu invite you say emra for pre-begging dia e dey bia na no and now say or send the signal say that facility is there which we know already say about say necessary but so far the Chema Wontumi si uniform. Almost on far. And you know, so be a Maya de Bobon Quedu. And you know, so be a baby say a plea for baggage. No, great.
Well, Adaromo, Abia na we at Chema Wontumi lawyer dear, but Abia no one attorney general din common. What be sir or clients no say or no one coy and now on small be ancoy?
Maybe the first and I say between. Say information we na Kwabena we check no to catch him said Kwabena so there BBA on Kwabena general bia enti ono akwa tie na mama enti me metu gina ni mwaka na mwaka say Chema Wontumi on kwesa application enti BBA said you
la ya adwuma ma Chema Wontumi say nsem bi say ne amaya ye worried kakra na kamia ko say asa ban no atunani asi Wontumi so because anytime I should be bia en fa Wontumi nkra ho a ese e peno ne yede ne hyemu no ne ade in the attempt say ibegun ho fi ibegun animu ase ene se kwan bia be fa so yede ne batum bia no e bia yede ne batum sa na mu hu no
mi hu ne Shega Mrasi. Eti Cheba to me to send the minimum to ya say Attorney General now prosecution who say another Nagimu to say a Fusubia a crown hotel Imubia Kokot. Mimi who said Cheba to me na Attorney General I be here to say I am from Subia said the Kokot. I normally would not want to think of politics in the case because every case as a separate project from the other. And next time I would be an accused person. I see him only as an accused person in this matter without impugning any political intentions and motives. And media means unbecoming. And I don't want to also mix my criminal and my legal practice with politics. And I've been engaged as a lawyer to defend the case in court, not to do the politics of the case. The moment more can make me a politics, but I will do the case.
Lawyer, Attorney General Kai, so be was some that court on this one. And our clients no be where some way for Attorney General to come public and make announcement to Abria make such move.
The discourse in the public space is worrying because sometimes in his excitement, with me a cancer be a prejudicial. Say when say a criminal action needed. When you have improved the criminality of whatever action you are proposing, have been, and in the course of political, in the course of prosecution, the very easy issue before the court say we are not happy with the attempts to try some of the issues in the public space. If I can't hear courtroom, I issued the necessary advice and instructions. Now, you're distracted by the public advocacy. Now, you better focus on doing our work as defense counsel.
What I say, there been a mobile court beam.
They're supposed to file their dinner on 25th. No. 25th, and they were supposed to have filed it on the 20th. But so far, in Sanka, Qatar.
And the Yaka say, Kwabena Attorney General, they are born to me, no, a home crater, Cajon, a dancey, a Cajon, a nipple from Mossa dance, a fool in a court, no, she or the mamma, Baby Cinnamon Sankai.
Between Sankai, in the Memum, a do 25th, near Courtroom near Sankai, a Bobo Courtroom, and yes, Mano says, Attorney General, this one, this one. And say a bit to me, not Attorney General, what to mean this would be court, and ye start a bonus to each of my own to some coffee.
You see, Attorney General pronouncement as an invitation, some more pre again, Nana.
A bit me a subtle invitation, but ye say, ye before. Who the Attorney General who or no fee for as and when any of the facilities in the prosecution becomes necessary, we take advantage. But for now, you need to be access a call for plea bargaining.
All right. Over and pay better say any brownie dinkum. We any besaba.
I'm sure.
All right. Lawyer Andy Apia.
The National Signal Bureau boss, a friend Director General, the National Signal Bureau, Kwabena Adu Boahen. Only lawyer, I say, sir, court in examiner about the 49.1 million Ghana citizens. Enjoy Nkoye. And ya dear the Caribbean woman in Gomuya. Nanka some yetraso. Name of no court. Akara court to say, Omono Munya Ajane, and no, I'm a lawyer. I demand the National Signal Bureau. Director Adu Boahen. The lawyer, a friend, lawyer Atatia. The third accused person, Madrid, don't go. A guy say, on any diminution, maybe you go for a lawyer before. Papa ni buo fuwa ma wa walk out from court and say, eh.
Where's your guy? Where is he? Call him.
In the court since 9 o'clock as scheduled by the judge. We didn't see the face of the attorney general. Other cases were being adjourned. We were waiting until all the cases were clear, giving an impression that, look, this case is what matters to the judge the most. Now, yesterday, I filed a motion for prohibition in the Supreme Court, saying that we are not comfortable that this judge will give us justice. I brought it to the attention of the judge. I also raised an issue that we should adjourn the case and abide the outcome of the application to the Supreme Court. The case is just next week in the Supreme Court. The judge is saying no, he won't grant us the adjournment, and that he is ready to continue the case. That's why the judge is in an ambulance route to continue the case and cannot wait for the Supreme Court for 1 week. He lives married to me, and I'm caught between the rock and the hard place. How? The ambivalence that you want to disqualify a judge from hearing the case, and you sitting to continue the case. I cannot answer in the Supreme Court, so I need to leave the chamber. And then, I leave him to do what he wants to do best. That's why I've left the court.
Are your client not going to be? Your client is still.
Well, my client is there. I know he can't do any legal work for himself, but they should be glad that the lawyers are saying that they can't continue with the case. They could have also gone out of the court, but they are accused persons because they agree with me. But because they are accused persons, they can't get out of the court. That's why they are there. Because they are accused, but not that they endorse what the judge did.
If you go to the Supreme Court, we are not preempting, and the Supreme Court sends you back to the High Court, how will your approach be?
Well, let's leave it to the Supreme Court. I don't want to play clairvoyance, but I think we have a good case for the Supreme Court to consider. That's what we are doing. You don't know what the Supreme Court will do, and you don't want to play lottery with this very sensitive case.
But Counsel, regarding the decision by the judge, he cited two conflicting authorities and decisions by the Supreme Court, for which reason he used his discretion to refuse your application. How does that come to you, seeing that you chose to walk out when really he used discretion?
What discretion is on this matter, in which there is an old authority, the Supreme Court has departed from the authority. And the Supreme Court in 2020 is asserting that when there is a pending application for prohibition and the lawyer tells the judge looking after the affairs of the case that, look, adjourn the case and let's wait for the Supreme Court to determine the matter. And if the judge should not do that, it implies that the judge is biased. If you see the Supreme Court decision and you don't want to respect it, I can't force him to obey the Supreme Court, which is at the summit of the justice delivery system. I think we'll have a day in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Now there's another party, I'll be the third party after Midredonko. All because Papa and friend say Adu Boahen, I is a lover boy. On any Angela Boating, there's a two lover boys. lower best. Or more the donor Madonna come to the extent say obi antimi betri obi a at the time Adu Boahen air so far I will call a friends airport no na air classic I say o clean no na. Meanwhile there's another allegation just said Ababa your friend Rashida Sani the owner of Alhaji Wache no mame chama I must get the watching there come out. Watching there fantastic, watching it brutal. Na ni kunu no banker. Na banker na o no Alhaji akakasa wo no ho a. Omusa wo nkwala mienu. Na se ka bibia ye fine. Na wo no Adu Boahen, omusa Adu Boahen na mpena long time before so be share Angela Boaten. Na se omu criminal school of law omu na kobo. But edu say omeware no na je say Rashida Muslim, Adu Boahen Christian. No more enye ye. Into mu go mu separate ways. Separate ways no. Oma nko ni ye. Wey anama abrante papa e fe no. Adu Boahen. Any Rashida say go share bio or promising $2.5 million. Oja ni kunu dwan free ni kunu nchen pe. That same day na no so receive friends say balance an amount of $2.5 million. The second says God and what angle see wa Rashida nan o company friend Raw Limited ana Isa Limited almost secure major government contracts are worth 38 million in 2024 for a vehicle na yeto plus a phones na yeto and so phones run yeto na worth 15,000 phones and also sika ebeka sika ni we go pm wo maame a friend Rashida na council muni na no one Adu Boahen ene sika no mo che na kama no mo che mo de adi na sanse mi de nsembe bribe and some big in some polo and some peliwa e de abama say Ghana aban why confused at the same times Attorney General also confused Rashida as well confused but mre any krabia na beche Ken Ofori-Atta any office of the special prosecutor according to the office of the special prosecutor says Ken Ofori-Atta any two others and then the human rights division of the high court na motions no mutie na two na two motions no Ken Ofori-Atta 1 A discoveries and 2B to lead to amend the originating motions on this both applications were opposed by counsel for the office of the special prosecutor. Edina nekwago na just about in terms of Ken Ofori-Atta, the office of the special prosecutor knows what he's doing, and to him, on himself, Sandokwano, yanku we ne anasa ochina, and he or involve anybody Ebebo man dino are less unpopular. I'm that's how yes there's one you fine. Yes, and I say yes, the interest of certain individuals. Biana.
Because you see, you come one the first somebody is up to that.
Yeah.
Watch as them what die say. And you would investigation, ya monko pen or now for no diagram, but potemo or mechanic in Ireland. Actually, it's answered dandy offensive. And a miss in the year dino. And I nutrition a while. Almost will be a crowd when job can almost information. Or now by your back and plan when teaching you. And there will be some information either. About and Tinadia also a year. Now if you are right, easy. Would you check the beak and then I find your money number for far into room because a hack crying you 2.2 billion. National service as one saying here 2.2 billion say 2.2 billion the core yeah now call electricity company of Ghana send the beko PDS send the beko one eje no beka ho na che say ye koye na masanso catch ban say Attorney General Mr. Pa e masa OSP na da Mr. Wono de makase mo mo kwa say mo entertain no wono no wodi ku wo o say mo pabno in fact o cross investigate no akase no investigate no because o ye o mo o mine in any case but NAPCO na no me no ye calculation
ya wo kika kwedi na ko e what
na ko no mu wi isika na ko attorney general me say na ko men can how many times na jiro o mo fa isika ho ongrem bo so e be chi ba o nya ne ko fo no ongrem na interest lose o mo wi isika ya ye bo mu di no support ba we wo mu nyina no support ba we ti no go fight say man me president Kobe president akabeti sanse mu.
There be that.
And the movement for change the by so of us. Go say there has to be a change at all. And no tira yentumi ma ura mama enyi na home. And no tira wa ban we mu a and you will be tired of us because you be kai every day.
Very important.
Attorney General Vedas say we hear what's up back with the conferences. Don't once again. Magana carry the Ghanaian people along.
That is governance.
Now, you do see one. And now, okay, we say now appoint to president the man pressure, and yet president appoint you. Yes, directly president appoint you, but your source of power is coming from the people of this country because you need to minimum and penny and some upon you who the amount. So in as much as you are serving the president, bear in mind at all material time, say the people that you are serving are the people of this country. And so you be no. Can you imagine what 2.2 billion could have done? And Omaka says about the new 6 lane from Accra to Kumasi. And what would you have to see 6 billion? It means that the national service is Guano, FI, no, yet the Kakraka one can be Accra to Kumasi, 6 lane, 6 lane, and the accident so.
2 people.
Get to honor. Ohengophobia, or Monisca credit.
And I make an.
Oh, did I?
Any sick Ukraine. They na I buy a say, comfort only answer. Only traces na day. And traces in the because they be a because of a kaya ye sikedi, of a trot driver sikedi, Kuania, what brasikedi, teacher near, yet tino, sikedi, you can never succeed. And to say, one will be our tons as away either. What the upper could check on what tons are so we are beer or moon because land is a free gift of nature. Oh, why we are why they create land. And your homa or man na don't go about the told the show to a woolly yida and Jacobi or to issue go last and no one abroad will be swimmer. Sana bicycle what you say and Nintino and also Nakoye that you back to OSP. Sa brantiano dear Mam Pamonwa. Suppose Emrano, yes, your coffee for the name was in the Yida William office.
Office na what's your scrap?
All the into. Yeah, because as you cannot go back, Attorney General Yoko. Yeah. Now, you have lawyers, baby, because why you can't be asked. Konongo Kaya. Ken Ofori-Atta. We entertain buffer stock, you need lotteries, you need a scholarship secretariat in the NSA. Entertain who? The weight your money in Mako Bob is 13.5 billion. I need him at the choir this can ye. Obia Watera Siva yet to remove 52 billion from GCB tax account, yearly tax account, and what GCB to an unknown account, a entry account for. Obia, what you mean? Only do Miami invests $97 million or whole. What of SML? Or no one can say the cuckoo SML, no. Yeah. Ah, ye busa Christian to say, so Tisa SML, no. Duma would say, was it that yes, I had Onima amount crowd more charge by. Now you ya papa ye Ganya Cotton America. Oti one Oti Kuma, who hire the veteran lawyer for the yet fan games and go for over the fees of a table. Obotro or Beba Yare, and do baby Muse, you push you over because activists never was Siano. We don't give a hoot. Yeah. Now, Omoye Sanwa, Yechi, Musaba, Overtro, Fruzo Omgane. Omugani and Uncle for faceless people, one see the family of Ken Ofori-Atta. Yeah. On the issue statement, Obia Van Dianchassia. Your bomb was a boy as Za, Nipa Bonifo, Mumpo, my, and one Omugane, and on one irritation. There is a Bashayabo, up to date. A federal markets could not parliament catch us by the 5th of May 2025. Ken Ofori-Atta be with Ekuma. Yearly October. October. October for God, Dabra for God, can correct. Because they know either they took part in the booty sharing or they themselves have a hand in it. Yeah. And OSP, Abeme assurance, you said I know issue wanted a red alert. Kofa docket no brand enya ya yako 2 months.
I don't know more.
Yamra me feel say na Attorney General diplomatic or say collaboration and share that and question your pen. No kasa papa de kisia jabe de new men siew or the siew. Ke MP fine case. Wa say that your court. Okwa akose no.
I'm not so I say why amendment.
Obua mesia kodongo kaya we after 101 trick make catch o goziaga. Now Papa was appointed by Kufuado, sworn to Kufuado, promised to Kufuado, who be the after Kufuado go. Emma Sui. And Tino. Sa OSP or GSK Keke. I buy car say 2022 500 something come from 2018 Mumbai. It's almost $1 billion. Yeah, Jacosa official.
Yeah.
Or would you make also mudi say Omuko here Ketashe. Na se bibi bomb or maji musica bana. Sika said Wajamu mine.
But the question then is, as it stands now, the office of the special prosecutor understands, knows, and is clear. Say the people who are in lead, I remember when the case are very formidable. No, they are not actually in good terms. They are not even trying to help him, and he have to find his means and ways. But at the same time, the 3 beautiful properties or the more than 3 or 4, 5, 6. To up to 13 beautiful properties of the former national buffer stock chief executive officer Abdul Wahab Hanan. The properties now is displayed and this is the reason why the IUOCO, the Economic Organized Crime Unit, are making sure that you be end this once and for all. But that is not the only problem. According to the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, they still have everything under control. But Ghanaians assistants are fed up. What can we do? What can we say to make things different? But Papa Efrenom, Chief Executive Officer, formerly, Edema, the National Buffer Stock, and today, the man is in court, and these are the words of the man, and this is the reason why you have to say that, look, maybe a government, and the man is in trouble. What can we do? What can we say? What can we show to save this day or to save the situation? But Emre and Krabia, and I bet you the echo. But the bunny, the AC, the air, and the echo. And the echo, we all hope and pray that justice will prevail. This is naked truth. Our Oldboga trends. For a comment, at the comment section, I say about our people who are refusing, say, or follow the legal way to make sure say Ghana will be a better place. But at the end of the day, still do the one thing: subscribe, like, and share. Say unia is many be happy. Edino, Maxi, Billian, I will naked truth. Macro, bye bye.